Good morning, trading world. It is June 7th, 2022, and this is my pre-market outlook and technical analysis for day trading the SPY. Today, I try not to get into fundamentals too much, but I'll touch on it briefly. Amazon splits and underwhelms audience. Amazon is reachable now to a whole lot of more people with its new stock price, but market not really interested. Be careful with Amazon because you may have a lot of market makers looking to cash out of Amazon, and the split just made it easier to find bag holders, meaning people, retail people looking to buy the stock as market makers are looking to get out of the stock. The upcoming June FOMC meeting has speculation that the Fed may not continue rate hikes all the way through its plan. But what I am paying attention to is not the rates, but the balance sheet. This may go quietly and get swept under the rug, but I think the Fed may whiff on the rates in the next couple of months, but I think they will continue to tighten the balance sheet with little to no fanfare. As speculation builds for the June 14th, 15th meeting, it gives the market room to stay range bound with a pop up somewhere in between here and the meeting. All right, let's get to the key levels of the day. And actually, before I get to the key levels of the day, let me just pop in here and remind you of the volatility box. And as you can see, today we are in that lower third of the volatility box. If you were like me and you got short up here somewhere in the upper third of the box, let's see how the opening plays out, but I'll be looking to pretty much cash out on those puts that I took yesterday at some point in time today, and probably at least one almost, if not immediately at the opening, but sometime soon. So from here, let me go ahead and bring up the levels of the day. And here we are with the key levels of the day. Starting on the support side, we have Jack support at 408 to the 407 area. Then we have Queen support at the 406 to the 405 area. And then King support at 406 to the 400 area. On the, excuse me. Didn't get a chance to hit the mute button before I could sneeze. Okay, going back to the resistance side, we have Jack resistance at the 410 to 411 area, Queen resistance at the 412 to 414 area, and then King resistance all the way up to 415 to the 418 area. The main thesis for today is bearish, closing below 411.79 with a projected target lower between 408 and 400. There was a lot of interest for me at the 405 area. So look for this 405 area to be key here, this Queen support area. The alternate thesis is bullish, closing above 411.79 with a target of around 412 to 418. Order flow and internals are still spotty. A gap down in internals was repaired with a gap up, and this morning I expect another gap down. Remember the vol box and try to stay away from taking positions in the middle third. The current channel we are in is 397 up to 416. The next major channel is 416 up to 425. The next minor channel up is 414 to 425, and the channel below is 414 down to 404. Let me bring up the scenarios for the day. All right, our first scenario, and they're all pretty much, the probabilities are just about even for everything today. But our first structure is our first scenario is our rounded reversal day type structure. We could get a continued push lower toward the jack or queen support area and find midday chop either around that queen or king support area before spending the same amount of energy we use going down to go back up the second half of the day. And as always on the rounded reversal day structure, be on lookout for the vice versa scenario where we get a play like that. So that is the first scenario, our rounded reversal day type structure. And one of the key things about this structure is that as soon as the session starts, we should take off. If we're going to continue down, we're going to just continue straight down. Now, let me bring up the next scenario. All right, our next probable scenario is the trend day down structure. We open up, gap down, and start with a rally back toward the previous close, represented by the blue line here. We find resistance on or before that previous close, then begin the downtrend for the morning. We find midday chop either around the queen or king support. And one thing I want to give warning to is that we may have seen most of the downtrend in the overnight session. So be very careful about this area here. Because this may be the lows, or if we break through, I did make mention of this 405 area is where we'll be looking to head to if we break the lows of this 408, 407 area. All right, that is our trend day down structure, and let me bring up the last scenario. All right, the last scenario is our expanded range day structure. We could look to set a decision area low boundary around either the jack or queen support area before starting to rally for a portion of the day, and then possibly a rollover or fade into the close. So those are the scenarios that we're looking at today. Again, be very careful because of order flow. It is still pretty much scattered and chopped. Also, as a reminder again, we want to take heed to the vol box. Make sure to stay out of that middle third of the vol box. Let me bring it up one more time. All right, as you can see, this is our volatility box, and we're going to look to see if we can get down to the bottom of that box. If we hold the bottom of that box, I may look to put on some bull put spreads at some point today. But be very careful, again, not to put positions on in this middle third. you're asking for a huge headache getting positions on in this middle third. Again, please know and understand your risk. I hope this helps. And as always, wishing you a positive trading day. Have a great one.